Today, we are diving into some absolutely incredible insights from the Fall in Love with Fitness Summit. We're going to distill it all down into a simple, really powerful framework for building what I like to call unstoppable energy. Let's get right into it. So, let me ask you something. Do you ever feel like you're just running on empty? You know that feeling, sluggish, totally burned out. Maybe you're reaching for that third cup of coffee just to survive the afternoon? Yeah. If that sounds familiar, trust me, you are not alone. It's a feeling so many of us know all too well. But here's the thing, and this is the good news, the problem isn't that you're lazy or that you lack willpower. Not at all. It's probably just that your foundation is a little weak. So today, we're going to build a new one, together, based on 4 really clear, actionable pillars that shift the focus from, just trying harder to building smarter. Okay, let's start with pillar number 1, master your mindset. One of the speakers, Marielle, really drove this home. She explained that pretty much everything starts with our inner dialogue. I mean, the words we choose to say to ourselves literally create the reality we experience. Okay, check this out. This is the difference between what she calls trap language and target language. Trap language is exactly what it sounds like. It traps you. Things like, I can't do this, or I suck at this. It just shuts you down. And get this, even something that sounds helpful like don't skip the gym is a trap. Why? Because your brain kind of glazes over the don't and just hears skip the gym. Crazy, right? But target language, that's the good stuff. It flips the script. Instead of I can't do this, you add one tiny word. Yet. See the difference? Suddenly it's about progress. And instead of don't skip, you say remember to go. You're giving your brain a positive target to aim for. It's such a small change, but believe me, the impact is huge. And this slide right here shows exactly why that language matters so much. It's something called the mind-body loop. It all starts with just one of those trap thoughts, right? Like, I'm way too out of shape. Instantly, that triggers an emotion, maybe insecurity or that feeling of being totally overwhelmed. And then what happens? A physical response. Your muscles clench up, your breathing gets all shallow, your heart starts racing. You've basically sabotaged your own workout before you've even put your shoes on, all because of that one little thought. I love this quote because it just perfectly captures the goal here. You know that nervous energy, those butterflies you get in your stomach? They're not the bad guy. The goal isn't to get rid of them. It's to get them all flying in formation, to channel all that anxious energy into focused, productive excitement. Now that is mindset mastery. All right, on to pillar 2, fuel your foundation. The nutritionist Kim Deere broke down the 3 big physical drivers of our energy. In other words, this is all about the actual fuel you put into your body. Kim gave this fantastic analogy that just makes it all click. She said to think of your energy like a campfire. It's not about just randomly throwing fuel on it. It's about using the right kind of fuel at the right time to keep it burning strong. So here's the deal with your fuel types. Carbohydrates, those are like the kindling. They catch fire super fast, they give you that quick burst of energy, but they burn out just as quickly. That's your classic energy spike and crash. Fats and protein, on the other hand, they're the big, slow-burning logs. They provide that steady, sustained heat that keeps the fire going strong all day long. A really good, balanced meal needs both. So it really all boils down to this, the energy trinity. First, you want to stabilize your blood sugar by eating those balanced meals. You need the kindling and the logs working together. Second, you have to prioritize sleep. Seriously, it is not optional. It is the time when your body is doing its most critical repair work. And third, consistent movement. I know it sounds a little backward, but using energy by moving your body actually signals your body to create more energy. Okay, pillar 3. This is a big one. Defy your boundaries. Coach Louise Lee totally reframed this concept for me. It's not about being negative. It's about using an essential tool to protect your energy and actually allow yourself to recover. So let's get this definition straight, because it's important. We tend to think of boundaries as these big walls we put up to keep people out. But that's not it at all. A better way to think of them is as personal recovery tools. Just like sleep or a rest day at the gym, boundaries are what protect your most precious resources. Your energy, your focus, and yeah, your sanity. And what's the tool you use to set those boundaries? It's your voice. And just like any other muscle, it's not about being the loudest person in the room, it's about being the clearest. Every single time you speak up, every time you clearly state what you need or what your limit is, you're doing a rep. And just like in the gym, those reps build strength over time.
So, if setting boundaries is so important, why is it so ridiculously hard for so many of us? Well, here are the usual suspects. Topping the charts, we have people pleasing. Sound familiar? That need to be liked that just overrides everything else. Right behind it is a fear of conflict, where we mistake a little bit of awkwardness for like a full blown crisis. And then there's just not even knowing what our limits are in the first place. But here's the most important part of this whole slide. These are not character flaws, okay? These are just learned habits. And you know what the best thing about a learned habit is? It can be unlearned.
And that brings us to our final pillar, engineer your environment. This is all about making your physical space do the heavy lifting for you. As Speaker Chris Judge showed us, really simple external cues can drive some seriously profound internal change. This question from Chris really blew my mind. I mean, we all use sticky notes for our little to-do lists, right? But what if we used that same super simple tool for something much, much bigger? What if they could remind us of our values, our strengths, and what we truly believe in?
So, what do these messages from the wall actually look like? Well, honestly, they can be anything that reinforces that target mindset we talked about. A key lesson like, this is my life now, what's next? Simple reminders of what you're grateful for. Even testimonials, kind words from other people to help you fight off that self-doubt. Or just straight up positive self-talk like, I am enough. My personal favorite is this one. It's project management, not procrastination. That's a total game changer.
And this isn't just, feel-good stuff. There's real science behind why this works. First, it's external storage. You're literally freeing up brain power by not having to remember it all. Second, the physical act of writing something down, that's called encoding, it actually strengthens that memory in your brain. And third, generation. Using different colors, phrasing things in new ways, it all creates more mental layers, making that message really, truly stick. So we have our 4 pillars. Now, the million-dollar question. How do we make them real? Well, it all comes down to this idea of daily reps. Think about it. You wouldn't go to the gym one time and expect to be strong, right? It's exactly the same here. These pillars aren't built in a day with some single grand gesture. Nope. They are forged and they are strengthened through small, consistent daily reps of intentional action. And this table just wraps it all up so nicely. For your mindset, your daily rep is to reframe just one trap thought. For fuel, eat one truly balanced meal. For boundaries, say one small, low-risk no to something that drains you. And for your environment, write one positive message and stick it where you'll see it. That's it. Anyone can do these. It's all about starting small and just being consistent.
In the end, it all comes back to the words we choose, doesn't it? Whether it's the words inside our head or the words we put up on our wall, they literally create our world. So the only words that really matter are the ones you choose to write. My question for you is, what will you write today?